My name is Colton Balthazar. I'm a fire plans examiner with the Colorado Division of Fire Prevention and Control. I'm here to talk to you today about the emergency response goal of the 5 E's of community risk reduction. Community risk reduction is a data-informed process to help identify and prioritize local risks, followed by integrated and strategic investment of resources to reduce the occurrence and impact of those events. Emergency response is how we mitigate the effects of an event that has already occurred. So how does that play a role in community risk reduction? Community risk reduction requires data that is often recorded after an event has already occurred. That is why it's so important for fire departments to record their response data in the National Fire Incident Reporting System. Effective data keeping for emergency responses could develop a community risk assessment that can allow your department to establish risk areas and develop a community risk reduction plan. A risk assessment can also help potential resources needs for your departments as well as needs for your community-specific programs to help reduce the potential future emergency responses. Today I've got some of our partner agencies from within the state of Colorado. Let's see how their community risk assessments have helped with community risk reduction in their areas. How has your community risk assessment affected emergency responses within your district?
Our community risk assessment really forms the basis of our standards of cover, and everything that we do and every dollar that we spend. It's given us a more systematic approach to all of our emergency response services. It's given us a baseline on which to judge where we spend our money, what types of fire engines do we need, what equipment goes on those fire engines, the training that we need all of our staff to undertake. We don't have an unlimited budget, and so it's really critical that we focus our finances on those types of trainings and those types of activities that are going to give us the biggest bang for our buck.
So here in the Monument District, Tri-Lakes Monument Fire District, we evaluated the different levels of risk that we had, and obviously the number one risk for us was wildland fire. El Paso County has had the 2 largest wildfires in the history of the state as far as destruction has occurred in residential property, and both of those fires stopped within a mile to a quarter mile of our fire district boundaries, and we realized that wildfire was our largest risk, and that's allowed us to prepare our crews and make sure that they're ready to respond to a wildfire.
Have any risk-reducing programs been implemented as a result of your community risk assessment?
Program that I really have implemented right now is kind of one that goes across the nation of change your batteries when we change the clocks. I feel that carbon monoxide detectors and smoke detectors do save lives as long as they're working. We have gone out and installed some new ones for some elderly people, and that's made a big difference, I believe, and that's one that's going to continue to grow.
So as a result of our risk assessment, we were able to implement some wildfire mitigation strategies to help our homeowners reduce their risk to wildfire. We certainly believe in Monument that it's a homeowner's responsibility, and we encourage them to take that responsibility and mitigate their property, reduce the fuel loads on their property. We've also worked on a community chipping program. We have a chipper. We go out and we work with the HOAs to do community chipping on the streets. And then we also have implemented home mitigation inspections where myself or one of the staff members go out and actually walk the property with the homeowners, educate them on the risk of wildfire, why we think they need to take the steps they need to take, and then give them a document at the end of the day that says, hey, here are the things that we would like to see you do for your property. Certainly none of that's going to guarantee any degree of a success if there's a wildfire, but it's things that we view that they can do and support the overall cause. Wildfire risk assessment, we view it as kind of a quilt, and you have different patches on your quilt, and if everybody does their part, then you get the entire blanket at some point in time taken care of.
Your risk reduction plan will not prevent all emergency responses, but it can help reduce more common events that your department responds to. When you reduce the number and severity of responses in your area, you are practicing effective community risk reduction and helping your department get ahead of the call.